Here are my top 5 moments from the episode Emergence. First is Boy Cavalier and the Eye, aka Creepy Sheep. In the first episode, he said he wanted to find someone or something as smart as he was so that he can just have a conversation with someone of his intellect. And we thought that it might have been Wendy. We thought that it could have been Curly. And by the looks of it, it's turning out to be the Eye. After the crew comes in and recovers the flies, puts them away, and makes sure the area is safe for Boy Cavalier to enter the laboratory, he comes in and he is very fascinated with the sheep. Upon seeing the surveillance that Kirsch showed him, he saw that the sheep knew the consequences of banging into the glass, which caused Isaac to trip, which caused the door to close behind them, which then caused the flies to come and attack Isaac. He's not afraid of it. He wants to study it more. So he approaches the sheep, which is now in a very small containment unit, and he asks it a mathematical equation, and it stomps its hoof to give him the answer, and then defecates when he tells it to continue. And he is so amused by this that he finally thinks that he has a match to his intellect, something that he can have a conversation with. The only problem is sheep can't talk, and that's where he says, find me like a worker or cleaner or someone who we can just sacrifice for this. And as his assistant Adam is about to make the list, Boy Cavalier suddenly has an idea, and I think I know what that idea, that alternative is. They now have a body of a synth, Isaac. I think they're going to put the Eye into Isaac. See that little pun there? Second moment was Wendy and Nibs and her brother Kermit finally deciding to leave and escape Prodigy Island. And it's after Wendy discovers that Isaac is dead and that Boy Cavalier does not have good intentions for them. So Curly is the only one who decides to stay. And at this point, Nibs still is unaware that her memory has been erased, but she's reverted back to this weird infantile state where she's holding on to that ostrich or whatever that stuffed animal is, as if it's like, how she was when she thought she was pregnant. And they decide to leave. And on their journey through the woods, they come across their tombstones, which I thought was, this is going to be a very heavy existential moment for both Nibs and Wendy. Wendy, she has a vision of herself being zipped up in a body bag. As a child, she sees her child body being zipped up in a body bag. But Nibs is more drawn to the fact that she sees her name and she remembers her real name. But they can't linger around. They have to keep moving. So she doesn't even get a chance to process this. But I think that comes into play in the end, which is something that connects to Hermit. So that whole escaping and then seeing the graves, I thought was very, very heavy and will come into play in the end, in the final episode. So that was my second top moment. Third was the character who I liked the least. Smee finally did something that was, I'm gonna say, brave. He decided to help slightly after coming into his room and discovering Arthur's body under the bed with the face hugger wrapped around him. Slightly finally unloads and tells him what's been happening with Morrow and says that he's going to kill his family and begs for his help. And being a true friend, Smee says, yes, I will help you get Arthur's body to the beach where he's supposed to meet Morrow. And the whole escape thing, they have to navigate through the corridors to make sure none of the guards or any of the personnel find them. And then right when they're trying to get to the elevator, they pass the elevator and they're going like maybe to some stairs, and then all of a sudden Kirsch appears, and this is where I'm thinking everything is going to crap. This is where Hirsch is going to pull the plug on this and they're going to get penalized. And instead he tells them, why are you taking the stairs? The elevator's here. This will get you to the beach faster. He lets them know that I know already what you've been up to and you're going to be late. So hurry. At this point, I'm giving Kirsch the ranking of the new Benjamin Linus. There's something brilliant and devious about him, and you never see it coming, but you just know that he's up to something. I love Kirsch. Kirsch is one of my top ranking characters, if not my favorite character, next to Morrow in this entire series. My number 4 moment is on the beach. We have the body, we have Arthur, we have me, we have Slightly. They have to toss the body into some bushes and hide as some security guards are passing by. And in that moment, they lose Arthur. They're looking around, they can't find him. Suddenly, the face hugger, just the shell of it, falls out of a tree or something and lands on them. They go crazy. That was a nice little funny jump scare. And then all of a sudden you hear, "Hey guys," and it's Arthur. He's alive, well, with no memory of what happened. They lie to him and tell him that they have to get him to the beach because they had an emergency evacuation due to some gas leak. Halfway there, going across the beach, Arthur realizes that the kids are lying and tells them, like, you could see in this moment that Arthur really cares for these boys and for these kids in these synth bodies. And he says, like, I love you guys. He lets them know that, like, so you guys aren't used to lying and you have to learn how to, because you're not good at it. So let's walk back, tell me what happened, and I promise you I will help you. And they give in because they really are children. And it Slightly realizes, like, the jig is up, like, let's just face the consequences. So as they're walking back, as we all knew was gonna happen, Arthur starts to experience pains in his chest and in his abdomen. And in classic alien fashion, the xenomorph hatches and breaks through his chest cavity. Arthur is dead, and they lose the baby xenomorph. So all they can do is bring the body to the beach, which they do, which is under like a little cave in the water. And Morrow and the Yutani team arrives. They pop up from underwater and they're not happy. Morrow is not happy, but they have to now once again quickly readjust, and they decide to infiltrate the Prodigy Labs, the facility, which is Morrow's big mistake. So they get there, they're sneaking in, they're trying to find the xenomorph that hatched. So now they get to the lab, and all of a sudden the gates open and out comes hundreds of guards, Prodigy guards, and in the middle is Kirsch. Kirsch has set the trap. He played the long con, and he so far has won. Not only did he know what was happening all along, he's now in possession of the baby xenomorph, and they kick the crap out of Morrow and his team and lock them up. They don't kill them, they lock them up. And right at the end of that particular scene, we have the line of the episode when Kirsch says to Smee and Slightly, "Boys, you are grounded." Fantastic line. I love it. I love it. I love it. And the top 5 moment is the end, the last scene, where we think Hermit, Wendy, and Nibs are about to get on this boat and sail off of the island, when all of a sudden Hermit's partners, the girl and the guy, I can never remember their names, they bust through the door, and they knew that Hermit was planning on escaping just because of how adamant he was in the previous episode about trying to figure out how to escape. And the girl, the woman I should say, with the red braids, she was just like, "Why are you messing up a good thing? We're safe here. At least we know where these monsters are, and we don't have to worry about anything. Don't mess this up." So she knew already that he was going to try and escape, and they were just waiting for him. And this is where all hell breaks loose, because at this point now, we've seen Wendy control the other xenomorph, the one that she has the attachment to, and she helps them escape a first batch of mercenaries that try to get them with the help of the xenomorph, and then tells the xenomorph to hide and follow. So when they get jumped on the boat, she's about to call them but hesitate, and then poor Nibs, one of the guards, take the stuffed animal from her and throws it into the water, and that was the breaking point. Nibs rips this guy's throat out, literally, and they try to shoot her. She starts kicking ass, and she's about to kill the redhead, and Hermit makes his biggest mistake by shooting Nibs. He uses, I think the electric shock that he uses is too much, because I can't tell if she died or she's just deactivated. But Wendy is no longer on his side. He just broke any bond that he had with Wendy, just went out the window. And we see the xenomorph is just waiting in the bushes for her command. And that's where the episode ends. Everything is in place for the finale. I can't wait to see where this goes. What did you guys think of the episode? Drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Peace.